We are the Gujarat Technological University. Since its inception over a decade ago, GTU has been empowering young and curating minds to realize their true potential. Over 4 lakh inspired students are enrolled with one of the premier academic universities in India. With more than 450 affiliated colleges in its fold operating across 5 zones of the state, GTU, the International Innovative University, your place to move forward.
Good morning to everyone. This is Dr.Roshni Rawal, Associate Professor at SAL Education Campus. Today, we are going to learn about group behavior, which is one of the topic of GTU syllabus from the subject organizational behavior. Let's get started. These are some learning objectives. Today, we are going to learn about formation of groups, types of groups, group dynamics, group decision-making techniques, team building, group communication, and Johari building. Group development is a dynamic process. How do group evolves? Do you ever think? There is a process of 5 stages through which a group passes through. The process includes the 5 stages named forming, storming, norming, performing, and adjourning. Okay, so through this 5 stages, a group is going to be formed. Forming is the first stage in the life of a group is concerned with forming of a group. This stage is characterized by members seeking either a work assignment in a formal group or other benefits like status, affiliations, and power, etc. And another thing that is come under this is storming group. That is, the next stage in this group is marked by the forms and diets and rights of the name is storming. Members seeks out familiar or similar individuals and being a deeper sharing of self. It continued attention to the subgroups created differentiates in the group and tension across the diets and traits may appear. Pairing is a common phenomenon in this particular thing. Let's talk about norming. This is the third stage of group development and it is marked by a more serious concern about task performance. The diets and tries begin to open up and seek out other members in the group and efforts are made to establish various norms for task performance. If we talk about performing, this is a stage of a fully functional group where members see themselves as a group and get involved in the task. Each person makes a contribution and the authority figure is also seen as a part of the group. And in adjourning, in the case of a temporary group like project teams, task force, or any other such groups which have a limited task at hand, also have a 5th stage that is known as adjourning. The group decides to disband. Some members may feel happy over the performance and some may feel sad because the group is going to be adjourned. So we can see it through this particular diagram. This diagram shows various stages, stages 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5th is adjourning. Okay. So when we start with this forming group, there creates a dependency. When a graduate moves towards the stage 2, it converts into some conflict kind of things because storming is going to be developed in this particular stage 2. When we move towards this 3rd and 4th stage, cohesion is going to be included in this particular stage. And at last, when we increasing this group with effectiveness over the time, we are moving towards the 4th and 5th stages. Here, independency is going to be created. Okay. So that was the thing. Let's talk about moving towards the next one. Let's talk about the types of the group. There are 2 types of group. One is formal and another one is informal. Formal groups are established by an organization to achieve its goal. Informal groups merge spontaneously. Formal groups may take in the form of command group, task group, and functional group. Whereas informal group may take in the shape of interest group, friendship group, and reference group. Here, command group are specified by the organization chart and often consist of a supervisor and the subordinates that report to the supervisor. an example is like a command group is a market research firm, chief executive officer, and the research associates under him. If we talk about task group, it consists of the people who work together to achieve a common task. Members are brought together to accomplish a narrow range of goals within a specific time period. Some common task groups are ad hoc committees, project groups, and standing committees. If we talk about functional group, it is created by the organization to accomplish specific goals within an unspecified time period. Functional groups remain in existence right after achievement of a current goals and objective. For example, like marketing department, customer service department, accounting department, etc. And now let's talk about the informal group. Interest groups are the groups which is going to be created uh, for with the same interest of the group members. If we talk about friendship group, it is formed by the members who enjoy similar social activities, political beliefs, religious values, and other common bonds. Let's talk about a reference group. Reference group is a type of a group that people use to evaluate themselves. And the main objective of this kind of group are to seek social validations and social comparison. Social validations allow individuals to justify their attitudes and values, while social comparison helps individuals evaluate their own actions by comparing themselves to others. Family, friends, and religious affiliations are strong reference group for most of the individuals. Now, there are various influence of group on their members. It could be in the form of positive or it could be in the form of negative. How? Let's understand. Positive effect on the group of their group members increase their motivational levels because they are going to motivate with each others in a very positive manner. They help to develop skills, knowledge, or understanding among themselves. Cooperation is going to be created among themselves because it is a very positive effect is going to be created among the group members. Feedback about each other's performance. They are going to take feedback of each other members and they want to grow or make rectifications according to that feedback. And at last, attitudes, approach, and perceptions can also be going to be developed in a very, very positive manner. And if we talk about negative effect of the group on their group members, these are the following things. Group may develop goals and conflict within the organization. Standards of group and behavior may neglect interest of the members. Possibility of power politics is going to be developed among the group members. They may be tarnish the image of an individual at a time due to politics or some other reasons. It turns down the authority of the managers and may distort the organizationally set of systems or practices. Group members follow a certain line of thoughts and actions as a mode, and they may perpetuate the same incorrect or inappropriate actions as well. Let's talk about group dynamic. It is a field of study within the social sciences that focuses on the nature of group. Group dynamic is a field of study concerned with a small group, their formations, and their forces. It is the study of understanding why and how the groups are going to be formed. What forces are operative in the structure of groups, how they make decisions and solve problems, and how they achieve unity and handle conflict. There are various group decision-making techniques like meetings, brainstorming, normal group techniques, and one of the important Delphi technique. So let's discuss one by one. Meetings. Meetings are the group decision-making techniques that requires of group members. It is a traditional method to take decision in meetings required of placing the problem before the group members, inviting their views upon the problem and the options and the solution that is supported by the majority of the members. Second thing is brainstorming. Brainstorming is an idea-generated process. Under this technique, group members are encouraged to generate ideas to solve the given problems. These ideas may range from wide ideas to most sophisticated ones. And the objective is not to restrict the thinking process by putting limitations. And this operates on on only one premises, that is, the best way to get good ideas is to have a lots of ideas. Another thing is nominal group techniques. Nominal group techniques process is a technique where goals are set and the problems are identified before the groups. The members independently work upon the problem and note down their ideas without any discussion thereon. Thereafter, these ideas are collected and discussed by the group for clarity and evaluations. And at last, this Delphi technique, which is very, very important. This technique has emerged out of a modern day requirement where concerned people find it difficult to gather physically or constitute decision making. A problem is identified and people give their views independently therein, which are reconciled at a central place, and such reconciled views are again commented upon the members individually. This process is repeated till an optimal decision is going to be reached. So Delphi technique is followed by various steps. Let's understand first, then we are going to understand it with this round steps. First of all, the basic step for using Delphi technique is identify the problem and design a questionnaire theory. Then circulate this questionnaire to the different member of the group. Then collect the complete questionnaire, compile its result at the central location, send a copy of result to every member and ask them to rethink and give their views on result. Collect these views and again process them and come out with a new result again and send these results to every member and repeat the same process until consensus is reached. So this is the basic step of Delphi technique. Let's understand with this round. First of all, they are going to identify the problem and design a questionnaire. Then it is given to the independent researchers or the experts involved in that. Then scores are going to be observed. It is round one. Then in round two, two processes are going to be included. First, they are going to have the median scores and confidence value of circulated among the all. Another thing, experts invited to challenge median scores by presenting evidence-based justification. They have to present the evidence that is going to support that justification. That is included in this round two. Now, when we talk about this round three, challenge the species recorded by all with references to new evidences. If the earlier evidences are not fully satisfying the justification, they are going to present some new evidences with reference to earlier one, and then they are going to reach some consensus or the result. So this is going to be included in this round three. Now, in between this round two, some summary paragraphs circulated from peer reviews and publications are going to circulate among the all, so that they are going to justify their evidence-based justification. So this is the main thing of Delphi technique. Now there is generally a common question always going to arise that individual decision-making technique is more reliable or more good rather than decision-making technique. So let's understand with the comparison metrics kind of thing. First of all, we'll talk about individual decision-making technique. Because this is a technique, decisions are going to be taken by a single individual. But whereas in group decision-making techniques, decisions are taken by a group of persons. Individual technique is less costly, whereas group decision technique is costly in terms of time and money. Individual decision techniques is based on limited information, whereas group technique is based on extensive information collected. Individual technique taken in situations of emergency, whereas if we talk about group decision-making technique, it is taken in the case of sufficient time to make decisions. Individual decision-making techniques no moral commitment on the part of the member to accept and implement them, whereas if we talk about group decision technique, it is easier to implement as a group members and feel committed to them. Individual technique does not affect any moral or job satisfaction of the employee, whereas group technique always positively affect moral and job satisfaction of the employees. Individual technique is obviously one-man control, whereas group technique has developed by self-control. Individual technique does not promote interaction among superiors and subordinates, and group technique has promotes superior-subordinate interaction and a healthy relationship amongst them. Whereas individual decision techniques based on clear policies and guidelines made by an individual, and in group decision-making techniques, it is taken when problems require creativity and expert knowledge of the group. Now let's talk about the team building. how team is going to be built. These are some essential things which is going to be required when a successful team building is going to be formed. First is clear expectation. The manager must clearly tell the team members of the expectation performance, and the team members must understand the reason of its creation. Team members must participate in the team, and they feel the team mission is important to show their commitment to accomplish the team mission and expected outcomes. If we talk about competence, team members must have the knowledge, skills, and capability and the resources, strategies, supported needed to accomplish its mission to address the issues which the team was formed. The manager should always have a control over the team so that they could avoid the risk. If we talk about collaboration, the team should understand the group process, work effectively, cooperatively with other members of the team. If we talk about communication, obviously a clear-cut communication should always be there among the team members so that they can understand the things in a very clear manner. Creativity should always be there. In absence of creativity, we couldn't build a successful team. Coordination, obviously coordination is very, very required and essential for a successful team building. So these are the things through which we can successfully building a team. If we talk about group communication, so since an informal organizational structure always coexists with a formal structure, there will be an informal communication system in every organization. Now, a characteristics of informal group in its is communication network. The informal group has communication processes that are smoother and less cumbersome than those of the formal organization. So, to understand this, broadly we can identify the four possible network of communication. First is single strength, where there is one-to-one communication in a single chain. Concept where one person non-selectively communicate with everyone in the group, and basically this is for one purpose. If we talk about random pattern, where one person communicates randomly with other according to the laws of probability, and when one person selectively communicates with those he can trust, it is known as cluster. Now let's discuss about Johari window. Johari window is a technique for improving self-awareness within an individual. It helps in understanding your relationship with yourself and others. Johari window model can be useful tools if you want to improve your communication skills. It was developed by American psychologists Joseph Luft and Harry Ingham in 1955, and hence they have taken the JO from Joseph and HAR from Harry and I from Ingham. That's why it is named as Johari window. Johari window is generally used in self-help grouping exercises, which helps a person to learn and discover things about themselves, like heuristic exercises. Johari window is a method used for self-discovery. Generally, it is believed that we have a group based on our perceptions of others, and that is why to improve communication in a group, it is very important to develop the perception of an individual in the group. And Johari window model is based upon two things. First, to acquire the trust of others by revealing your information to them, and by learning about yourself through feedback by others. So Johari window descriptions, it is basically depends on this following points. There are 4 questions in the model, just like a pants in a window, and each person fits into one of these pants. Each window in Johari window model signifies feelings, personal information, and motivation. Also, the important point to know here is that window pans, one must determine whether one is known or unknown to oneself as well as others. It is one of the important models. So let's understand this Johari window model. This is a model where 4 different pans are given, and each signifies one crucial idea behind this. Further, the pans are in horizontal axis as well as in vertical axis. So you have to determine which window you falls, and based on your personality that can be known. So horizontal and vertical pans. Okay. Now in this model, The main focus is on feedback. Accepting of feedback and conveying this feedback is done through this model. The panes given in the vertical direction represent the part. The pens given in the vertical direction represents the part that is known and unknown to others. Verticals. And in horizontal, these are the things that known to self and not known to self. Okay. That is two windows represent your true self will, while the other two represent the part that is known to others but unknown to self. This information which is known to self and unknown to others can be transferred through socializing with others, while that the part that is known to others but unknown to self is conveyed through feedback that you get through other members in the group. The model works on the basis of communication happening in the group and how to improve yourself. Okay, so it is very simple to understand. Let's understand this first one, that is known as open arena, or we can known as arena. This span is called open arena because the information in this span is about the behavior, feelings, and emotion, and about the person is known to the person itself as well as to others. So it is very open. Okay. Now let's talk about the blind spot. That is the second one. It is the area in which certain information on your personality is known to others, but information is not known to yourself. Okay. Another thing is hidden self or facet. Hidden areas is the information that you hide from others. You are known to self, but you are going to hide from others. Yet the information is known to you, but others are unknown to this information. The reason for this may be the information might be the personal to you, so that you do not want to reveal it to others. Okay. Let's talk about the fourth one, that's the unknown area. In this area, the information is unknown to you as well as to others. Generally, certain feelings, talents, and informations, etc., are going to consider into this. The reason for this might be some traumatic experience in the past about a particular event or things such like that. The person as well as in the group is unaware about this till he or she discovers it. So once the one way to reduce this kinds of areas through open communication, right? So this is named as quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, and quadrant 4. Okay. So let's understand this Johari window description with a very easy example that you all are aware about it. Let's understand with an example of Harry Potter. You all are aware about this Harry Potter? Okay. So let's understand this Johari window with this example. First of all, we talk about this open arena. Harry Potter was an orphan. He knows, and that is known to others also. He has an aunt, uncle, and a cousin that they do not like him. His parents died in a car accident. So this open arena is known to him and known to others also. Now, some things that is known to that not known to self. He's not aware about himself, but others known to him. That is, he's a wizard. The persons who are the persons who are living in the magical world, they are known about this kinds of thing about Harry Potter, but he is not self-aware about this kinds of thing about himself. Like, he is a wizard, he is not aware about things, but other persons knows about him. The boy who lived, he must not know named like killed his parents and tried to kill him. He is not the person who is blamed for his person's death, and some other persons have tried to kill him. Even he is not aware about him, but other persons are aware about him. His mother was a Mughal born witch. His father was a wizard and seeker, and his father bullied Snap. So these were the things he was not aware about himself, but other person of the magical world, they are known about that. Third one is that is known to himself, but he want to hide from others. Okay, he is mistreated by his uncle, auntie. He is known about these things, but he do not want to show it to other person. He lives under the stairs. The snake talked to him. The glass wall disappeared, and the family ignores his body. Fine. And at last, this fourth one, that is not even known to self. He did not know about himself, and even not others known to him. That is, he is excellent in his broomstick. He is not aware about him. Even others are also not aware about him. If his cars connect him to Walmart, he will choose a van that Sphinx was Walmart's subordinates, and he was very brave and courageous. Even he was not aware about that Harry Potter himself is a very brave and courageous. So this is an example which shows Johari window, and as I told you earlier, this is a very important technique for improving self-awareness within an individual. So thank you so much. If you find any kind of query, you are free to contact me on my email ID roshni.rawal@sal.edu.in. Thank you so much.